Hello, my dear subscribers and viewers. I am Dr. Raja Nadir Jalal. I hope you're all fine. I know it's hard to stay at home, but at the same time, it's very crucial during this corona pandemic. Let's hope this lockdown will end soon. This is part 5 of my interpersonal skill video series, and today I will discuss how to break bad news. Breaking bad news is the best test of your interpersonal skills. It shows your expertise as a communicator. In PLAB 2 exam, you will definitely get a breaking bad news station and you will find it hard to manage unless you know how to approach it. But more than that, we need this skill for our future clinical practice as a physician. Therefore, I thought it would be a good idea to make a video on how to break bad news. Again, I want to remind you that whenever you speak to a patient, do not use medical jargon. Give information as kindly as possible and allow time for patient to respond. In breaking bad news, it is very important that you give realistic information without false reassurance, but leaving a little room for hope. And never forget strategy of chunk and check, which means giving information in small pieces and keep checking understanding along the way. All these things are very significant, especially in breaking bad news situations. So let's start our today's video presentation. How to break bad news? We use spikes for breaking bad news. Spikes is a stepwise approach to break bad news, and S stands for setup. Setup means that think about what you want to say in advance. So prepare your notes and look at the notes of the patient and make it clear in your mind that what you want to say, and then choose a time and place which will allow for privacy and uninterrupted discussion. So this is setup. P stands for perception, which means you need to determine the patient's understanding of their condition, what they know about their condition, what they understand, what is their idea. And second thing in perception is to determine that whether the patient is able and willing to hear what you will say. I stands for invitation. Invitation means you need to ask the patient how much they want to know. Do they want to know all details, or they just want to know some information? Or sometimes a patient may say that I don't want to hear anything about my condition. So you need to check this before breaking bad news. Second thing is whether they want any relative or friend with them before going through the information. Sometimes you can offer your patient that you are ready to answer any questions in the future or speak to their family and friends if they want. So all this comes in invitation. Next is K. K stands for knowledge, which means that before giving information, before breaking bad news, give a warning shot to warn the patient that you have bad news. After that, break the news in layers. Give the patient and their friend or relative enough time and space to absorb the information or express emotions and ask questions, and clarify any doubts or uncertainty about the diagnosis and prognosis. So all this comes under knowledge. E stands for empathy. You need to encourage your patient to express their emotions and concerns and respect their wishes. You need to observe and validate the patient's emotions and give them enough time and space to express their reactions. And try your best to be clear, honest, supportive, and compassionate. Then comes S, which stands for strategy and summarizing. As I discussed earlier, that checking understanding is very crucial by asking your patient to briefly summarize the main points. Encourage them to express their concerns and then explain treatment options and future plans. Explain clearly next steps and follow up appointments, and make them clear who will be in charge of their care and how they can contact them. And also offer them a realistic time scale of events and reviews, but never give a false hope, but leaving a room for hope as well by reassuring of ongoing support so that they do not feel alone or isolated, and also provide them leaflets about their condition, treatment, and prognosis. So all this was about spikes. Now, I am going to discuss with you 15 steps for breaking bad news scenarios. It would make it easier for you to manage this station in PLAB 2 examination. First of all, remember never give false information and false assurances. This is very important in this station. As I discussed earlier, first step is assess knowledge and understanding of your patient about the current condition or situation and background when and how this happened. Then check mental preparedness of your patient to hear the bad news. You can ask, do you have some idea about what is happening? What might be the result of your test? What might be causing this problem? Then explain to your patient what investigations or treatment have been done up till now. Then give a warning shot by saying, I am afraid, Mr. X, I don't have good news for you. Then offer support. Would you like to have someone beside you before we discuss it further? What about if I give a call to someone from your family or friends if you want? Then, if patient is ready to hear and mentally prepared, then you can break bad news in layers. And after breaking bad news, it is very, very important that you give a pause. Give a pause, very important for expression of their emotional response. Then acknowledge their emotions and reflect back. Show empathy, sympathy as appropriate, and check they are still able and willing to listen by saying, are you with me, Mr. X? Do you want me to discuss it further? I mean, what we can do for you. Next step is summarize your management plan, check understanding, and ask your patient about any questions and concerns if they have, and give a reassurance about ongoing help and support available as I discussed earlier. So this is how you go through this breaking bad news station. Some of useful phrases. I can see you are worried. Do you have any thoughts what might be causing this problem in your case? I am afraid I have some bad news. Then give a pause. Is it okay if I share it with you? Or do you want someone from your family or friend with you now? Would you want me to give them a call? Maybe if we can discuss things together, it could help. I can understand this information can bring a lot of worries and questions in your mind. I can see that this is not what you were expecting. I wish that things were different, Mr. X. Is it all right with you if we talk more specifically about your prognosis? Unfortunately, Mr. X, the blood results, X ray report, biopsy report doesn't look as nice as we thought. There is some problem in it. It could mean a serious thing, could potentially be cancer. Give pause again. Let the patient absorb this news. Then explain further. Best case scenario, it could just because of an infection, but we just need to make sure we are not missing something serious. I mean, things like cancers. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't have absolute answers for all of your concerns. I don't want to give you any false information, Mr. X. Some other useful phrases. I would like to talk about things we can do now so that we can get answers for your concerns. Please don't feel alone. We are always here to help you. We will try everything we can to do best for you. Please don't hesitate to ask any queries you have now or any time later. I am sure more questions are going to come in your mind, so please contact me or any of our staff if you need to ask any questions. And please also talk about this with your family. You need their support at this time. If they have any questions or queries, please ask them to get in touch with us. So this is how we manage Breaking Bad News Station. During this situation, patient may ask some difficult questions from you, and I'm going to discuss these questions in next segment. So patient may ask, doctor, is it cancer? Before you break bad news, patient may put a question to you, doctor, is it cancer? How would you respond? I can see you are worried. May I ask, why do you think it is cancer? Mr. John, this type of problem can be because of many different reasons. It's really good that you have come for medical advice. This can be a sign of cancer in some cases, and we will definitely look into it. I would certainly make sure that nothing like that is going forward. So this question, sometime patient may ask in breaking bad news scenario, or sometime patient may ask you in normal consultation about any problem. If patient has an idea in his or her mind that it might be cancer, so this is how you can respond. But in breaking bad news station, when that is cancer, then you have to clearly tell your patient that it is cancer. And if you are in doubt then you can give answers in a way which I just discussed. Sometimes in different situations, you are not 100% sure about the diagnosis and how to deal with this uncertainty while you are discussing things with your patient. So dealing with uncertainty is also an important communication skill. When you are not sure, you can say, Mr. John, I am not 100% sure about the side effects of this medication. How about if I look into my book for you? Maybe there are specific rules or allowances for this medication. I'll also double check with my senior and I will come back to you. Mr. John, this is not something which I come across every day. Let me have a little look on the internet or talk to one of my seniors about it. Perhaps this way we can work around this. Mr. X, I'll be honest, we are not 100% sure at present, but it potentially could be something serious. It may end up being absolutely nothing. We just can't say at present. It would be wrong of me to give you incomplete information at this stage. I can see how waiting and not knowing is a huge challenge at present. Sometimes patient may ask you, doctor, am I going to die? And this is a very difficult situation to handle, difficult question to answer. What are the useful phrases? Mr. X, what we know now is that your cancer is something we can't fix. As you have had more and more complications, it has become clearer to me that your body probably won't be able to recover from this. Every effort will be made to ensure comfort throughout the course of the illness, and our health team will remain involved and accessible. We will do everything possible to ensure your pain is well controlled. I want you to know that no matter what happens, we are committed to caring for you. Even though we may not have medicine to fix your cancer, we have so many things that we can do to care for you, to help with your nausea, your pain, and the anxiety you are feeling. Sometimes a friend or a relative of the patient may ask you, Doctor, is he or is she going to die? This is also a very difficult question to answer. Mrs. X, he is in a terminal condition. We are trying our best to make him comfortable. Unfortunately, we are not expecting him to get better. I really wished I could say he is not in danger, but unfortunately, that's true, Mrs. X. We are trying our best to stop the bleeding, but it's very difficult to stop. And if we do not succeed in stopping the bleeding, he will not survive. Sometimes you come across with someone who is going through bereavement or who tell you that he has lost a loved one. So you need some useful phrases to show sympathy. Bereavement is a period when a person mourns the loss of a loved one. It is a period of time of intense grief and desolation, consisting of many stages of emotional pain and physical despair. So you need to show your sympathy through very nice words and phrases. Here are some phrases to show sympathy. Mrs. X, I am so sorry for your loss. Losing a loved one can be a very difficult time. I can see it is a challenging time for you and your family. I am saddened to hear that your husband or son passed away. I wish you peace and comfort at this time of sorrow. Please accept my most heartfelt sympathies, condolences for your loss. My thoughts are with you and your family during this difficult time, at this time of sorrow. My prayers are with you. It is quite normal, Mrs. X, to feel as you do. Such a huge loss will inevitably cause pain. This is something very normal and is in fact part of the healing process. I can see that you are finding it very tough at the moment. I can see he meant a great deal to you. Is there anyone else you think we could put you in touch with? Would you like us to offer some support suggestions? There are many supports available for this type of situation. Mrs. X, not only today, but always remember that we are here for you and we care about you. So this is how you can show your sympathy when someone has lost a loved one. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is end of part 5 of my, this is not part 4, and this is part 5 of my IPS videos. I'm sorry about mistyping. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to watch other parts of my IPS videos. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon and share this video with your colleagues and friends. And best of luck for your exam and your future as a doctor. Thank you very much.